So you've got yourself an iPad. It looks fantastic and it feels great on your hands and it packs a lot of power. But after a while, you start noticing that things are kind of clunky and tedious. It just doesn't feel right. And you keep going back to using your iPhone or Mac. It just seems easier. Well, it's because things aren't the same and they aren't meant to be. iPad is not a touchscreen Mac or a giant iPhone. You've got to use your iPad as iPad, and to do it right, you need to teach it a few things. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. I've got 7 pro-level skills and 2 power tools to make your iPad into a workhorse it's meant to be. A few housekeeping items before we dive in. Make sure that all of your devices are signed into the same Apple account. Continuity and handoff must be enabled, and it should be by default. And lastly, you need to be connected to Wi-Fi and have Bluetooth turned on. So if all this sounds good, let's go and train your iPad. Sidecar is part of Continuity, which is the engine that ties Apple software with all of your Apple devices, and it does it very seamlessly and intuitively. With Sidecar, you can extend your Mac Workplace onto your iPad. It becomes a second display, and it's really great for travel or work from home. No wires, no doodads, no apps, no logins. It works instantly and seamlessly. To get Sidecar quickly connected, hover over the green window control of the app or window you want to display on your iPad. Then tap Move to iPad. Your iPad doesn't even need to be unlocked. Your Mac will wake it up, just like that. On the days I work from home, I use Sidecar to dedicate my iPad to my calendar. This way it's not covered by other windows on my main displays and I always know what's happening next. So that's great, right? Well, not quite, because if you cannot interact with your iPad, Sidecar will only get you so far. And that's why the setup is so important, and here's how I do it. I like to position my iPad higher to be in line of sight with my main displays, and this way my eyes don't need to travel too far beyond the bottom edge of my studio displays. It may seem like a small thing, but after staring at my screens for 10 hours straight, my eyes thank me. During my calls, I like to take handwritten notes. Things just land better up here when I do. So I pull my iPad closer and then I flip the screen like this. But if I work standing up, I prefer a different angle. So I just turn it upside down and then I grab my Apple Pencil, tap here to minimize Sidecar, and then I open Notes or Freeform and I'm good to go. By the way, Sidecar is still connected, and when I'm done, I tap here and it will go back full screen, and then I flip my iPad back into standing position and push it back where it was. But sometimes I like to flip it on its side and use it in a portrait mode, and that takes us right to my next favorite. And that's universal controls. That's the second skill your iPad needs to learn. It allows you to use your Mac's mouse, keyboard, and trackpad on your iPad. It is different from Sidecar in a sense that you are using your iPad as an iPad but with the peripherals from your Mac. Just move the cursor over the edge of your Mac screen and push it through onto your iPad's home screen. And now you have a full mouse, keyboard, and trackpad controls on your iPad. It's great for reading or document review. I can just sit back and read and scroll with my Mac's mouse. And if there is something on my iPad that I want to bring over to my Mac, I can just copy and paste or drag and drop. Super convenient. By the way, none of this will be possible without this guy. This is Mov's Dynamic Folio for iPad. I was absolutely blown away by how much utility it packs under the hood. Together with Apple Pencil, they comprise my entire iPad toolkit. You know, it may look like a cover, but it really is a full-blown iPad workstation. I mean, is it not amazing how something seemingly so simple can do so many things? Apparently, there are over 20 ways you can fold this thing. I personally counted 6 ways that I fold the folio to use between my desk and my couch. And then the fun part, my commute to and from work. I deputize it to protect my iPad in my bag. Just look how thin it is. It barely adds any bulk. And, you know, that's no small thing for me. My commute is ridiculously long. And then, once I'm on the train, I fold it like this into a leg mount, and it just stays put on my lap. This way, nothing gets airborne. And if you also have Apple Pencil, you already know it has a tendency to separate itself from you and your iPad. Well, then get this Apple Pencil holder also from Muft. It's designed to work with the folio. It fits right here, completely flush with the case, and it keeps my Apple Pencil from getting any ideas. Oh, and if you're wondering how strong these magnets are because it's so thin, well, just look at this. Well, pretty good here. And as a bonus, if you ever use your iPad as a tray to carry your AirPods, like me, well, then these magnets will take care of that as well. So if you want to give it a go, scan this QR code, and you can also get 10% off by using my discount code by Roman. And huge thanks to Moth for supporting this video. Our next iPad skill is universal clipboard. This is one of those things that shouldn't exist, and yet here we are. You can copy anything on one device and paste it on another. You don't need to do anything for this to work. No settings to change or toggles to toggle. You're good to go from start. You try it once and you can't go back. Anything else will just feel archaic. Our skill number 4 is continuing to sketch and markup. I do all my work on Mac. The precision and the control of the Mac interface is unbeatable. At the same time, nothing can replace iPad when it comes to adding creative touches to my work. This feature allows me to add hand-drawn elements to pretty much any file I'm working with on my Mac, like my freeform boards and presentations, and this is how I retouch Apple icons that I use in my videos. Or how about adding a sketch in emails? And here's how. Simply right-click on the document, select Insert from iPhone or iPad, then select your iPad. It will wake up. Tap twice with 3 fingers to undo if you messed up. And if you need to mark up a PDF, you don't even have to open the file. In Finder, just right-click on the file and then either select Quick Look or down below, Quick Actions and then Markup. Then on the pop-up window, click the markup tool icon and then select the iPad you want to use. Your iPad will wake up and you will see your markups happening in real time here as well. Pro tip, if you share your screens on calls, like I do, you can use your iPad to annotate or mark up files or images that you're presenting. This is infinitely better than using your mouse with those terrible markup tools in Teams or Zoom. The next skill for your iPad is handoff. I use this one constantly. Handoff allows you to start a task on one device and then continue on another. Sometimes I start responding to an email on my phone or iPad only to realize I need a full-size keyboard, or start reviewing my backlogs and reminders on my Mac, but then I want to go and sit on the couch with my iPad and continue there. So let's say I started an email on my phone, but now I want to continue on my iPad. When I unlock my iPad, the mail icon with the phone symbol will pop up on the far right side of the dock. Click on it, mail will launch, and that email I just started on my phone will open up here. And this works for all other Apple and third-party apps that support handoff, as long as they're installed on the receiving device. The next skill is Instant Hotspot. If you have an iPhone, and you do, right? Well, if you happen to have an iPhone, you can instantly connect your iPad to a hotspot. The hotspot does not need to be on. Your iPhone does not need to be unlocked or even taken out of your pocket. Your iPad will see it and either auto-connect or ask you to confirm if that's how you set that up. To enable, go to Wi-Fi settings. At the very bottom, select your preference in auto-join hotspot. I personally keep it on automatic. The nice thing is that hotspot will also disconnect automatically once you stop using your iPad, and your iPhone's battery will not drain. That's pretty cool, right? The next skill your iPad needs to know is gestures. Getting gestures down on iPad is key, since it's a touch-first device and all that. Here's number 1, how to undo and redo. Tap twice with 3 fingers to undo anything. You can also swipe left or right with 3 fingers to undo and redo. I don't particularly like it because it tends to move the screen at the same time, and that makes me cranky. Second one, minimize keyboard. This one is money. Full-size keyboard on iPad is comfortable, but it literally takes half of your screen. Pinch it with 2 fingers to get to a phone-size keyboard. It's not just smaller, but you can also move it around and out of your way. Then spread with 2 fingers to blow it back up to the full size. Gesture number 3, quick symbols. Swipe down on number keys to quickly type the symbols underneath. Number 4, use your keyboard as trackpad. Just like on iPhone, hold down the spacebar on your on-screen keyboard and then drag your finger to place the cursor where you need it. Number 5, perfect shapes every time. Draw a shape, hold down a sec, there. Nice, right? We just barely scratched the surface today, but that's a good start because once you master these few things we talked about today, you will own this thing that to rights. I would love to hear about your favorite iPad hacks. Hit me in the comments, let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, I'll see you in the next one. I love you.